says he's not going to stop. Very dedicated. Can I ask the Sheridan family to join me? Don't have to. And actually, I say in the family, I know that we have two speakers from the family, but I can tell you clearly, I think that this is a family affair. This is a family that works hard to be good to each other and supportive and warm to each other. You only have to spend a few minutes. I have not spent any time with you, David, but with Cynthia and Vanessa to understand the bond between this mom and daughter and some of the struggles that they have faced together. And the one overarching thing that I would say is this is a family that works very hard to be a healthy family. When talking a little bit about the experiences they've had, the one thing that I heard over and over again is we wanted Vanessa home. Vanessa needed to be home. We need to figure out how to get Vanessa home. We need to get her the support that she needs and the support that we need, but she needs to be part of our family. And that was an overarching message from the time that I sat and spoke with them. I'm going to let them tell you their wonderful story. It's a very humbling experience, but certainly a very profound example of how strong the bond of the family is and how healthy this family is. Thank you.
Well, as you can see, Vanessa is home. So I can smile again. Good morning, everyone. I'm Cynthia Sheridan. I am honored to be able to speak with you this morning. What I would first like to tell you about myself is that I am an intensely private person. Now that you know this about me, you may be asking yourself, why would she want to stand here before all these people to share her personal story and experiences with the Department of Mental Health? The reason is quite simple. She's a beautiful 18-year-old, incredibly brave, determined young woman who sits here before me, our daughter Vanessa. I have asked a lot from her these last few years, and she has not let me down. She is the bravest person I know, willing to share her story and always willing to help others. It is Vanessa's strength that I draw upon this morning as I share our experiences with you. I have lived a very nice life. I grew up in Newton, the daughter of two loving parents. I have great siblings and received a wonderful education. I married my high school sweetheart, David, and we were fortunate enough to adopt two beautiful children. Their childhoods, in my opinion, were wonderful. While my friends often complained about the rigors of bringing up toddlers, I was really the happiest mother in the world. I had two great kids, beautiful and intelligent, and I can honestly say I enjoyed every single minute with them. Their future seemed very bright. Our only challenge through those early years was a health issue. Not any that our children had, but my own. I am no stranger to challenges. I was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 2. I was the recipient of a kidney transplant at the age of 32, and just over a year ago had open heart surgery. To say that I am well-versed in the healthcare system is an understatement. I truly felt that I could help my children with any health problem they might have. I thought I was prepared. Well, was I wrong? Nothing could have prepared me for the years that lie ahead for our family. At the age of 15, Vanessa began the struggle of her life. Depression, anxiety, and self-injury debilitating her, and we had to admit her to Franciscan Hospital. It was at this point that the Department of Mental Health entered our lives. Vanessa was unable to manage her symptoms in the short term, and we had to make a decision as to where she would reside while getting the care she needed. We were about to meet with the doctor who would help start our daughter's next step. I was never so nervous in my life, and I was determined to have Vanessa home with us as soon as possible. As soon as I sat down with her, I was put at ease. I felt so lost and distraught, and she helped us navigate our decision to place Vanessa in Cohannon Academy. What I liked most about the doctor was her honesty and her intelligence. She helped David and me see what was best for our daughter. We were missing out on much of her teen life, but what was most important was that she become a healthy adult. The doctor took a great interest in our daughter and her well-being and the well-being of our family. Vanessa would soon be going to Kohannon Academy to get the care she needed, and we were warned that it may take quite some time before she was home to us. David and I credit the care Vanessa received while at Kohannon Academy, along with her great determination, as the reason she is here with us today. The clinical staff and therapists were able to draw her out of her shell and taught her how to communicate and verbalize her feelings. They gave her the support she needed, and when she ran out of hope, they held on to it for her. For that, we are eternally grateful. Simultaneously, they gave David and me the family support and education that we needed. I became known quite well as the mother who called, let's just say, quite often, to advocate for my daughter. They helped Vanessa learn to advocate for herself, and they taught me to let her struggle with that. One reason we liked the program was it was community-based, meaning that as often as possible, the girls would do things in the community, volunteer for gifts to give, perform and work on scenery for Express Yourself, which is a community-based art and music program, play on basketball and softball teams, and weekly trips to the mall or local restaurants. As I reflect back, it is hard to believe how far Vanessa has come. She is doing extremely well. She is taking a gap year and recently got accepted to her top choice college. She will head off this fall a very healthy, happy, and well-adjusted young woman. Most importantly, she has learned the skills to cope with her mental health challenges. We are so incredibly proud of her. The difference that DMH and her program made in our daughter's life is nothing short of amazing. We are forever in your debt. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. Today before you, you see an 18-year-old girl named Vanessa. I am happy, well-adjusted, and live a busy life. I'm currently taking college courses, working as a child caregiver, exercising, and taking very good care of myself. Most excitingly, I am beginning college in the fall at my top choice college. One would never guess, looking at me now, that 4 years ago I was in a very different place, the lowest I'd ever been, and seeing no future. I was suffering from depression, anxiety, and PTSD. I was trying to manage high school, but wasn't able to, and I was falling apart. I was then placed in an adolescent psychiatric unit and was full of despair. When I was in the hospital, I didn't open up at all to my therapist due to my social anxiety. After spending 4 months in the hospital, I was enrolled in an IRTP based on DMH's recommendation. I was very hesitant at first as I was not good at adjusting to new people and places. DMH continued to reassure me that it would all work out in the end though. After a few months spent at my program, I started opening up. Through weekly therapy sessions and monthly DMH review meetings, I slowly began to reach my goals. Now some may ask what exactly helped me get through this rough time. My supportive family, therapists, and staff at the program helped me through some of the hardest days of my life. During the days, we would go to school and come back and have groups for the rest of the evening. I found the structure to be incredibly helpful. Even on days today that I don't have much structure, I can tell because I get a bit antsy. Nights were particularly hard as you were left alone with your own thoughts. Fortunately, due to the wonderful staff that were present, I was able to talk through my problems and be comfortable while I tried to fall asleep. After 10 months spent in my program, I was sent home. That day was what I thought one of the best days of my life. Before I came home, DMH wanted to make sure everything was in place for my transition. I was set up with a family therapist, an individual therapist, a psychiatrist, and a mentor. It was definitely helpful for all that to be set in place, and it is very difficult to get these kinds of appointments. For 3 months, my life seemed pretty good, and then my worst nightmare happened. I was hospitalized again, this time for my anxiety, which was debilitating for me. While I was at the inpatient unit, I was placed on an anti-anxiety medication that helped immensely. But they still felt that if I spent just a couple of months at the IRTP to work some things out, that I would feel a lot better. I was scared at first to see people's reaction to myself being back, because everyone had all this hope for me and I felt like I was letting them down. To my surprise, everyone was super supportive, just like the first time around. This time my therapist was going to change as my old one was leaving, so I was a bit worried. To my surprise again, my therapist and I got along so well, better than any other therapist I had before. She was able to understand me on a level that no one else was able to. She taught me to open up and advocate for myself. If I hadn't learned those two very important skills, I wouldn't have come as far as I did. I would give her credit to my success, but she has made me see my success was due to my own hard work. This was a hard time for my family as my mother had just had open heart surgery, but my program was so supportive and would drive me once a week just to see my mom in the hospital. I don't know what I would have done if I couldn't see my mom. I spent only 6 months there this time and really shined during my last 2 months. I was able to do 5 overnight passes week after week. This time they placed me at the Arlington School, which was the best decision ever. I had also learned that due to my determination school, I would be able to graduate on time. DMH helped me with this transition once again. My DMH worker checked on me each month to make sure everything was going well. I was luckily placed with the same family therapist. I changed to a new therapist as I knew this was a new chapter to my life. I really thrived in every aspect. I graduated high school, got my first job, and started applying to college, and then got accepted into my top choice college. About 4 months ago, I was dropped as a DMH client due to my success, but they will always hold a dear spot in my heart because they are the ones that helped me to get to where I am today. My hope for the future is to become a psychologist and help adolescents that are in a similar place that I was once in, and help them understand that no matter how bad of a situation you're in, it's never too late to turn your life around. Life is so precious and no one should spend time struggling and suffering unnecessarily. They deserve to live their life to the fullest. Thanks for listening to my story today, and I hope everyone realizes that DMH can help change anybody's life around. Thank you.